To Matchday number 2, we go now over in the Asian Cup with some nations on the brink of elimination and some nations on the brink of qualification. Who's going to make the last 16? We're going to take a little look next. Right folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today we're taking a look at match number 2, part 1 of course over in the Asian Cup, where we take a look at the teams and the nations over in groups A through C. Their second round of games are coming up in just a second. Of course, if you're new, of course, where you've been, smash the old subscribe button, bang out the old things, Asian Cup related, Blabbing Rovers related, world football related, we're going to all here boys. Under one rooski. Of course, I'm in the middle of a hotel here, so please bear with me while we try to get these predictions out to you. Of course, make sure you continue to do what you're doing so far on the channel by joining the Prediction League, smashing the old subscribe and hitting the little bell, of course. But without further ado, we're going to jump in the deep end, of course, and have a look at how we all got on last time around with, of course, an update with the results from Matchday number 1, part 1, of course. So hopefully you can see me, hopefully you can see the stuff. As we try to navigate this then, shall we? Here we go then. So the first game of the campaign was the opening day. It was Qatar. It was Lebanon. 2-0 win it was in the end. That was my pick, actually. The final score was a 3-0 win. The Socceroos then took on India over in Group B. I actually went with a 3-0 win on that one. 2-0 win it was final score, so not too shabby on that one. Meanwhile, joining the hosts in Qatar, it was China and Tajikistan. That ended up as a 0-0 draw. I went with the 1-1 draw myself on that one, so not too shabby. So we'll see if they can continue their unbeaten campaign as we get to match number 2 as well. Over into back into Group B is Uzbekistan. They did draw with Syria 0-0 on their opening game. I did go with a 2-1 win myself on that one. Into Group C, of course, one of the favourites, Team Melli there, 4-1 winners. I actually went with a 4-0 win myself. That was over Palestine, of course, and then of course UAE with a 3-1 win over Hong Kong. I went with a 3-0 win myself on that one. So not too shabby. Of course, I think I did pretty well in there. Just maybe the one pick that was a little off. That was the Uzbekistan one. But to be honest with you, not too bad as well. But we are looking forward to the next round of games. But let's take a quick look at the situation in the tables right now as we see what the Group A looks like. Qatar hosts up and running. Perfect start for them. Not too shabby there. China, Tajikistan, and Lebanon still got a chance to get out of Group A. And of course, they'll do themselves no harm by getting a result in the second round of games. Meanwhile, the Socceroos, they also top the charts in Group B, as I think we expected. Of course, and again, Syria, Uzbekistan, and India still got it all to do in Group B. And then wrapping up here today is Iran. They top the charts in Group C. UAE also did themselves no harm with a big win. And of course, Hong Kong, Palestine will now, of course, try to get themselves something in Matchday number 2. Now, we do have a prediction league. Get involved with it here, of course. I'm not going to give you an update just today because I'm in a hotel and I am very sparse on battery power. I've got not limited on time, so we're not going to do a deep dive into that. And of course, I am doing this on a potato laptop, so we'll see if I'm right or see where we are, of course. So we are looking forward to the next round of games, so hopefully we can do it. I'm going to start here right now by taking a little look at Lebanon up against China. That's right, coming at your own Group A. So hopefully we can jump into the deep end on that one. That's actually coming at you tomorrow, Wednesday, January the 17th. Now, these two sides, I've played each other twice. Since 2009, we've got 2 wins for China, nothing for Lebanon. No draws, of course. Lebanon on the back of their opening result. But China, biggest win for them over Lebanon was a 2-0 win. In fact, they got 3 goals in those 2 games, 1.50 goals a game on average. China, though, 42% form for them heading into this game. Just 1 win in the last 5. Lebanon, back-to-back defeats for them heading into this, of course, as well. That's on the, of course, they're coming to us on 33% for back-to-back defeats. Now, these two sides did play each other way back in November 2009. It was a 1-0 win for China, but this match will take place coming at you at the Al Tumana Stadium. The odds at this one right now is 2-1 is your Lebanon, 8-5 is your China, and 2-1 is also the draw here. Could go either way. This one is very tight to call, and of course, a lot of hopes and dreams are resting on this one. But I'm going to go with on this. If we're going to be bold, I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for the wayside here, which is China. So they'll open up get their first victory in the belt and see if they can continue in their next game. Up it is Tajikistan. They're taking on Qatar, also coming at you on Wednesday. That's right, over in Group A. Now, these two sides, again, have never played each other. So it'll be the first time in recent times, anyway. They've locked horns. Tajikistan on 83% form for them without a loss in the last 5 games, of course, up against the Qatar side, winning 4 out of the last 6. They're on 67% form for them heading into this one. This takes place at the Al Bayt Stadium, of course, and Tajikistan on the back of that 0-0 draw against China, of course, before the tournament. They did have a couple of good wins against Pakistan way back in November, and then, of course, Hong Kong just a few days ago. Meanwhile, Qatar on the back of that a 3-0 win over Lebanon. They did lose to Jordan in one of their final pre-tournament games, but the odds for this one, 70-2 is your Tajikistan, 11-4 on is, of course, your away side. That is, of course, Qatar, who are technically the home side. And we've got 7-2 is the draw on this one. Going to go with a victory for the hosts again, 2-1 win. I think they were good in their opening day. This, of course, should secure the deal and get them through to the last 16. In what capacity? Will they be number 1? Will they be a 2 seed? We'll see about that later on. Next up, we do have over into Group B, a bit of a zing-zong affair. It's Syria. It's Australia, of course. The Socceroos are in action at the Jasmine bin Hamad Stadium, taking place on the 18th of Jan, which will be this coming Thursday. Now, these two sides have played each other 3 times since 2017. Nothing for Syria, 2 for Australia. There's been 1 win, one draw between the two sides. Syria, though, yet to taste the victory, but they have scored 4 goals in those 3 games, 1.33 goals a game on average. The Socceroos, on the flip side, their biggest win, 3-2 win. In fact, they got 6 goals in those 3 games, 2 goals a game on average. Now, the Socceroos coming into on 83% form for them, winning 5 on the bounce on an A-OK after the opening match against India. Syria, though, on the flip side, 3 draws on the spin there, and of course looking to get their first win in the tournament this coming match. Of course, last time around, these two sides played each other. Was a 3-2 win for Australia back in January 2019. But the odds right here, right now, as you look at it from the bookies, 10-1 is your Syria. They are massively unfancied here. 3-1 on is your Australia. They are overwhelming favourites, and 15-4 is, of course, the draw. Going to go with a 1-1 draw here. Bit of a surprise, perhaps, on this one. Australia may take the foot off the gas somewhat. Syria got more to lose than Australia, because Australia already have those 3 points. But I think Syria will try to at least cause a bit of an upset, because we've seen a couple of upsets so far, but nothing too crazy, and this could be the first of a couple into match number 2. Let's get into the next one then, shall we? It is, of course, India against Uzbekistan, of course. I think, are we at the panic stage for India at the moment? This could be the match. Now, these two sides have locked horns never. It'll be the first time that they have played each other, and this match will take place on the 18th of Jan, again on Thursday at the Ahmad bin Ali Stadium. Now, India, 5 defeats the last 6, not great form for them, 17% form for them heading into this one. Uzbekistan, they're unbeaten in the last 6 games, 83% form for them, and of course, started off with that draw against Syria. Now, of course, prior to that, big 4-1 win it was for Uzbekistan against Tajikistan, and of course India coming into this tournament on back-to-back defeats. Of course, they did lose to Qatar, they're friendly back in November, of course, and the loss against Australia. Back-to-back games also without a goal for India heading into this one, so they need to find a goal, get the confidence back, and then maybe get themselves something out of this game. Now 16-1 to go to win this one here. 11-2 on is, of course, Uzbekistan. They are overwhelming favourites, and 6-1 is the draw. Of course, India, they were strong against Australia for the first half. If they could do something like that here against Uzbekistan, then you just don't know. They might get something out of this one. Tough one to call though, but I'm going to back Uzbekistan here. Been there at one stage in my life. I spent a good 10 days over in Uzbekistan, so got a little soft spot for them. Hopefully they'll do well. 2-0 win for me on the night. Next up, we do go into Group D. Goodness gracious me, it's Palestine. It's UAE, of course, coming at you over at the Al Janoub Stadium. Now, these two sides have played each other twice since 2015. 1 win for UAE, nothing for Palestine, and there's been a draw between the two sides. Now, UAE's one and only win was a 2-0 win. In fact, they come into this on 83% form, UAE, just 5 wins the last 6. They are a team to avoid in the last 16 if they can get there. They're already a little stage closer with that opening day victory against Hong Kong. Palestine got all to do though. They're on 17% form for them without a win in the last 6 games. Now, these two sides did play each other last time back in March 2016. It was a 2-0 win for UAE, but give Palestine a little bit of hope. They did get a draw against them back in September 2015. So if they can salvage something out of this, then of course it will leave them into an okay situation heading into that final game against Australia. But realistically, I think this is not Australia. Sorry, the head into their final game against, who's the other one? Palestine have already taken out, lost against Iran. They've got Hong Kong to come, so that's a winnable game for Palestine. So realistically, if they can get a point here, they'll do themselves no harm in their final game against Hong Kong. But the odds here for this one, of course, coming at you, Palestine 92 for the victory, 13-5 is the draw, 11-8 on is, of course, your away side. Of course, UAE should win this one comfortably, 2-0 in the bag, 3 points, of course, and they should also probably guarantee themselves the last 16 berth with that double victory. And then we do wrap it up. We do wrap it up, of course, with Hong Kong taking on Iran. That's coming at you on Friday, January the 19th. Of course, now these two sides have played each other 4 times to 6. We've got nothing for Hong Kong, 4 for Iran, 0 draws. Of course, Hong Kong, though, have scored just the 2 goals in those 4 games against Iran, 0.50 goals a game on average. Iran rocking a 4-0 win, their biggest, scoring 11 goals in total against their opposition, 2.75 goals a game heading into this one. 92% form for Iran right now, winning 5 of the last 6. They are top, with, of course, of the table at the moment. And, of course, Hong Kong are third with 0 points and 8% form for them. Pretty grim times for them at the moment. They did play each other last round back in November 2023, not too long ago, and it was a big 4-0 win for Iran. But coming into this one, the bookies do fancy Iran here. 16-1 on overwhelming favourites, 20-1. So 16-1 on, sorry, and 20-1 is your Hong Kong, 14-1 is the draw. It's going to be a one-sided traffic here, I imagine. I do expect a team Melly to go for broke here, and of course put a bit of a benchmark result with a 3-0 win in the end. So big results for Iran, big results for UAE. Of course, if we're going to put my indicator as a shock for the round, it is the 1-1 draw between Syria and Australia. And if I'm going to put a banker down, it will be that last one between Iran and Hong Kong. If there's anything that's a guarantee, it should be a victory for Team Melly this coming match day number 2. That's, of course, my picks. Of course, don't forget to get your own picks in as well using the link. That's a green screen, just in case you wanted to know what the green screen looks like. But, of course, we'll be back for match number 3, part 1, when, of course, these games come to a close. Don't forget to look out for match number 2, part 2, for the groups D through F. That's all I've got, guys, here in the middle of a hotel. But, of course, don't forget to check us out with each and every one of those games. And, of course, cat predictions are out there for the Asian Cup. Until then, see you soon. Of course, be safe out there. And, of course, subscribe. Your one-stop shop for the Asian Cup continues right here at Lebanon Overseas.